Vega, it's Sim, and this is Pro Wrestling. Whoa, why is my light purple? That's weird. I didn't know that light got turned purple. Anyways, that threw me way off. Way off. Supposed to be red. The kids were in here earlier. Maybe they hit the switch a couple times. That threw me off. Okay. Wow. All right. Anyways, let's get on track here. Okay. It's Friday. Tonight with Smackdown. There's a lot of news coming out of today. We're going to get right to it. Esports Gaming Rules says, did you see the Vince McMahon news in the past 24 hours? You see our social media, our Instagram, our Facebook. We posted all about this stuff. Now, right off the bat, let's get a couple misconceptions thrown out here. He says, did you see the Vince McMahon? Give me 1 second. Did you see the Vince McMahon news in the past 24 hours? First rumors of Vince trying to get back WWE. Now, let's just debunk all of this. I'm not calling it fake news. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, oh, Jonathan Coachman's dumb and stupid and out there. But you have to think about this logically. When Endeavor took over WWE, and you can't say buy because there was never any money traded hands. When Endeavor took over WWE, that was at an evaluation of $9 billion. Vince is only worth 3, if that. And being worth $3 billion doesn't mean you got $3 billion in cash in the bank to spend. So whether Vince wanted to try to buy WWE back, was interested in trying to get back into WWE, is a moot point because A, Endeavor ain't letting them back in, and B, they're not selling to Vince. Vince can't afford it. Now, if Vince were to get a bunch of investors and come in with an offer, then legally, because WWE falls under TKO, which is a publicly traded company, legally they would have to at least field the offer and listen to it, because that would be in the quote-unquote best interest of the shareholders. So they can't just go, nope, we aren't even going to listen. Legally, they would have to at least listen, but they don't have to take it, because they can give a reason as to why it's not in the best interest for the shareholders. They have to take it because it could be, but then they give a reason as to why it's not. So that's why that story was like, it was there. There may be some truth to it, or there may be that some people think that's a thing and they've heard it, so they told Coachman, but it's not a thing because Vince can't even afford it anyways. WWE, when Endeavor took over, was evaluated at $9 billion. I'm pretty sure they're worth even more now. Since Endeavor took over, they merged it into, or they put it under TKO and all of that. So Vince can't afford it. Also, he says Vince creating a new film company for sports and entertainment. So, firm company. I read your thing wrong. Firm/company. So yes, Vince McMahon has started a new investment firm for sports, media, and entertainment. So what that means is basically, you want to get a project started, whether that's in sports, whether that's in something entertainment-wise, whether that's in film, media, television, you can then say, hey, here's my pitch, loan us some money. As of right now, the company is running with $500 million in capital. And we know of 3 executives with the company. The company is called 14th and I. We know that former WWE COO, I want to say, Brad Blum, is the president of the company. Let me see. I got the info right here. We know that David Springern is the CIO, the Chief Investment Officer, and the CFO is Darden Batau. Those are the 3 people listed on the LinkedIn as working for the company, executives with the company. Of course, Vince is somewhere over all of this, whether he's CEO or whatever, we don't know yet. We don't know right now. But we know these 3 people. Former WWE executive Brad Blum is the president of the company. Now, could they try to get into wrestling? Sure, maybe. But is this a new wrestling venture? No, it's not. It's Vince wanting to be in movies and film and television and all kinds of entertainment and have his name on things when credits roll, basically is what it is. He's got a company that they've acquired a bunch of money. They've got, like I said, $500 million in capital that they can loan and go from there. So we don't know much more of the company right now. We know that Blum and Spingern are based in Stanford, where Vince is. And then I want to say Batau is based out of Los Angeles. So we'll see how all of that goes with Vince McMahon. But as of right now, there's nothing real that's wrestling related with Vince, other than this Janelle Grant lawsuit and goddamn John Laurinaitis flipping the script and saying, I'm going to screw Vince so I don't get in trouble anymore. I don't get in trouble anymore. The other big news of the day was Mariah May. Mariah May. So this is a weird one, because typically when you get pulled from the AEW roster, it means you're no longer under contract. It means you are done. Because here's one of those. Let's pull up the AEW roster really fast. Like the day we learned Ricky Starks and Miro and Aleister Black, they're all no longer under contract. They were pulled. Rey Fenix pulled the day he was no longer under contract. But then, and I'm going to double check because I haven't checked this in a couple days, Saraya has been saying, I'm a free agent, no longer under contract, but she's still listed on the website, on the AEW roster page. Mariah May pulled, yet her representation has told Fightful she's still under contract. So I don't know what the real story is. I don't know what's going on. Is she actually under contract? Is she not under contract? Does she have some sort of a non-compete? We've seen that no one's had a non-compete in the past when they got a release. So I don't know what the Mariah May story is, other than people in WWE think she's coming soon. Like very soon. So see how they play that. Whether that is next week at Money in the Bank or what's the other show? Worlds Collide. Whether that is coming up at the Great American Bash show, the next Saturday night's main event, or the All Women's Evolution. We'll have to wait and see. But that is what we know on the Mariah May story right now. She's been pulled from the AEW roster page. People in WWE think she's coming soon. But then her people, her management, telling dang Fightful, oh no, she's still under contract. So I don't know. I don't know. But with all of that, we got Smackdown to talk about. A pretty good show, an interesting show at that. And I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with the tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we go to the community tab or post on the community tab. Also, remember to hit the join button. You get some cool perks. You get a badge next to your name. You get emotes and emojis you can use in the live chat and in the comment section. And you get access to learn graphic stuff. Whether that is learning from our tutorials or actually getting our graphics packages. Went up yesterday was all of our Saturday night's main event graphics. You got the tutorial at the $1 tier. And at the $5 tier, you got our graphics package. You got our graphics package as far as the PSD, all the assets I used, the logo, Jey Uso, and the Logan Paul renders, and everything else that I used to create that. I actually taught you guys some pretty advanced techniques with distressing layers and texts and all that. So really cool stuff in the tutorial. Highly recommend. Even if it's just $1 to get the tutorial. And I greatly appreciate the support there. That's why I'm putting those up at the $1 tier. I could put it higher. I could put tutorials at the $5 tier and go, oh, I'm going to charge you out the butt for no. $1, and I'm going to teach you some things. And you're giving back and supporting us. Keeping boom, 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 all these lights on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those light strips, all those lights. You're keeping them on, helping us out. Whether you're subscribing here on YouTube as a channel member or over on patreon.com/PWU Unlimited, where I kind of recommend more. Not because I'm going to make any more money. It's the same either way, but it's easier for you as a subscriber to see everything more, what's the word I'm looking for? Organized. Having things on Patreon and seeing things there is a more organized way than when we put things out for channel members, because it just a lot of times gets lost in the community tab, unfortunately. And also remember to head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Remember, there's only 1 week left in the Fortnite Star Wars season, so you haven't jumped in on that yet, and you want to get Poe Dameron and the Emperor and all the other cool things in the Battle Pass, you might want to jump in there. Use our code to support us at no extra cost and grind that Battle Pass. That's what we're going to be doing over the next couple of days or week, I want to say, so we can finish that Battle Pass. I'm close to the main Battle Pass, but I want to get it all, of course. I want to finish all of the Battle Pass, the extra stuff and so forth. So we're going to do a couple more Fortnite streams over the next couple of weeks or days, I'm going to say, to finish that out. Also, Epic has their mega sale going on until June 12th. Get in on that and get some cool games and rewards back. Oh, give me 1 second. My prompter just turned off on me. Let me unplug it, plug it back in. That's weird. My prompter where I read my notes off of, so I'm not looking down like this. I'm looking straight at the camera. Just wanted to flicker on me, so I had to reset it. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. That may have made the stream look weird and funky for a second, but let me pull my notes back up on that screen, because when I unplug it, it shifts things to other screens and doesn't shift back when you plug it back in. That's just how monitors work sometimes. But let me pull these notes back up. And there we go. So as far as, that's going to look weird for a second. Give it a second. Boom. As far as Smackdown does go, we're in Knoxville, Tennessee. Shocked we didn't get the mayor. Old Mayor Kane. We got him the last couple times we were there, but we didn't get him this time. Other recap what happened at Saturday night's main event. And then Joe Tessitore welcomes us to the show. Cody and Bianca were shown walking backstage. And then the camera follows Bianca as she makes her entrance. And here's an interesting thing. Bianca was supposed to have a bigger, more elaborate entrance, as far as she was supposed to be accompanied with the marching band from the Knoxville College or whatever, the University of Tennessee, whatever it is. She was supposed to be like the marching band was supposed to do her entrance. We're supposed to be there with her, performing her entrance. I don't know what happened and why it changed, but I was told by somebody there in attendance, because WrestleVotes had tweeted Bianca getting a big elaborate entrance. And then it didn't happen. So someone messaged me and go, hey, I'm at SmackDown. Bianca's entrance was normal. I thought she was supposed to get, I thought WrestleVotes said da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I don't know. And then WrestleVotes sends out a tweet saying, hey, she was supposed to have the marching band. So I messaged the guy back and go, hey, they said it was supposed to be a marching band, but something changed. He goes, I saw the marching band outside. So the marching band was there apparently, but they ended up not being used. I don't know what happened. I don't know what went down. But apparently the marching band, or at least some of the marching band was there, were seen, but never used. Well, I don't know exactly why the change was made. So Bianca comes out, and it's a pretty good segment. Crowd's chanting EST as she stood in the middle of the ring. Bianca then said, hey, we're here. Let's get some Rocky Top going. And they actually played the Rocky Top song, which, again, you would have thought would have been played by the marching band. But no, they didn't. They weren't there. Very weird. Crowd sang along, and it really felt like an episode of College Game Day. All they were missing was Pat McAfee. So Bianca shouted out her mom and dad in the crowd. She actually hugged them during her entrance as well. And she talked about those in Knoxville showing up for her and showing out. She called this her, quote, safe space. And said that she had to come back to Knoxville to heal up. Belair said that she is the EST of WWE, and the crowd showered her with another chant of EST. Then she shouted, welcome to Friday Night SmackDown. Now, as we saw, she didn't get physical at all. Her finger is still wrapped up. She broke her finger at WrestleMania, and it's still wrapped up, which means that was a pretty bad break then. As she says, welcome to SmackDown, Naomi's music hits, and she comes down to the ring. Naomi said that she was glad to see Bianca back and told Belair, and Belair told Bianca, this ain't the time for any of this. The crowd booed big for Naomi. Naomi said that she thinks about what happened between them every single day. Belair asked Naomi, what do you want out of all this? And then the crowd starts chanting, you suck. Naomi looked emotional, like she was going to start crying, and begged Bianca, just forgive me. Please just forgive me. Naomi said that she's been trying to communicate with Bianca for months, and she wants them to just move forward and move past this. Naomi said that she went by Belair's parents' house to try and get a hold of her earlier in the day, but no one was there. So Naomi broke into the house. And I'm just sitting here going, what? Broke into the house? Oh, this was on another level. Naomi talked about seeing some photos of Belair being happy, and it reminded Naomi of how happy they were as tag champs. And I go, weren't you guys just on a private yacht for freaking Natty's birthday the other day all together? Like, you were there, and Bianca was there, and Maxine was there, and Bailey was there, and Indy Hartwell was there, and Naomi's going up to people saying, I don't like Jade Cargill. You like Jade Cargill? You want to know what's so bad about Jade Cargill? It's funny as shit. But they were both there, chilling, relaxing, maxing, hanging out on a goddamn yacht for Natty's birthday. Can't get a hold of you. What the fuck? Belair said that Naomi betrayed her trust and recalled what Naomi did to Jade Cargill. Belair said if Naomi ever tries to get at her family again, she will do more to Naomi than Naomi did to Jade. Naomi started to cry for real as the crowd chanted EST once again. Naomi gathered herself and said that it wouldn't be good for both Belair or her mom to be in a wheelchair. Naomi said that she would hate for something bad to happen to Belair. Quote, right here, right now. And that's when Jade's music hit and she sauntered down to the ring like she power walking. Saunter might be the wrong word. Power walk down to the ring with purpose. She got in the ring, kicked Naomi to the mat, and then stared at Bianca. Cargill tossed Naomi out of the ring, and Belair and Cargill had a little bit of stare down. This was interesting. Cargill then went to leave the ring. Nia's music hit, setting up for our first match, Money in the Bank qualifier. So overall, I thought this was really good. I thought this was a pretty good opener, good segment, but really told us nothing about, is Bianca back? Is Bianca close to back? Or is it like, we're in Knoxville, we got to bring Bianca here because we know she's going to get a good pop. She's going to get a good reaction. But I don't know. But as far as the first match goes, Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Nia Jax in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Not a bad match. Pretty good. One of the better Jade performances, I would say, for sure. For sure. So if you're watching on the American Netflix, you joined in progress. If you're watching on the international Netflix, or if you're watching on USA, joined in progress. If you're watching on international Netflix, they actually start the match during the break. You could see it, and not much really happened before that break. Or during the break, I mean. At one point, Naomi appeared to have tried to bite Jade's hand, and then she stomped her. Naomi hit a drop kick on Cargill, who was down in a corner. Naomi stomped Cargill and landed a split splash from the second rope. Cargill then broke up with a pin attempt by grabbing onto the bottom ropes. Jax reinserted herself into the match and hit a hip attack on Cargill. Naomi took out Jax by slamming Jax on the apron. At one point, Naomi came off the second rope, but Cargill caught her and hit her with a follow-away slam on Naomi. I wrote that weird. Naomi on Naomi. Anyways, Cargill followed this up with a clothesline, but Jax broke up a pin attempt. Jax then Samoan dropped Cargill and headbutted Naomi. She started posing and then hit a leg drop on both opponents and threw Cargill to the outside. Jax went to the second rope and hit another leg drop on Naomi. Big old coming off top rope leg drop. Naomi, though, kicked out at the very, very, very last millisecond. 2.9. Jax went for a Samoan drop, but Naomi rolled through and pinned Jax. We only got a 2. Well, tried to pin Jax, we only got a 2 off of it. After a commercial break, Naomi and Jax were teaming up on Cargill until Naomi tried to pin Cargill, and Jax had to pull Naomi off. Naomi rolled up Jax to no avail, and Jax hit a running senton on Naomi. Cargill returned to the match and fired up, landing a series of splashes on her opponents. Cargill managed a spinebuster on Nia, but Naomi followed this up quickly with the Meteora on Cargill. Jade then came back with a Jaded on Naomi, but Jax broke up the pin attempt. All 3 women were now down, kind of with like a reset. As we're getting towards the finish of the match, Cargill hit a Samoan drop on Naomi from the middle rope. Cargill flew in from the top with the frog splash on Jax and got a nice near fall. The 3 then traded blows, and Naomi went to the top, but Cargill cut off Naomi. Jackson stumbled over and powerbombed Cargill with a big superplex, and then I wrote this weird. Jack stumbled over and powerbombed Cargill. Well, Cargill. Oh, okay. I see what this is. Cargill superplexed Naomi. So it was a Tower of Doom spot. That's the spot I'm talking about. Jax went for her finisher on a stacked Cargill and Naomi, but Naomi moved and Jax hit only Cargill. Naomi then rolled up Jax and pinned her 1, 2, 3 to qualify for Money in the Bank. So with that, Naomi has qualified for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, as we know, in this match is as followed. So far, qualified is Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Alexa, stop. I hate when I say Bliss's name and my echo goes off. Bliss, Ripley, Julia, Roxanne Perez, Naomi. The final woman will be qualified Monday, as we got a big qualifying match, as it is Stephanie Vecchio, Liv Morgan, and Ivy Nile, who's there to take the pin. So who do you guys think? Chat, let me know who you guys think is going to be the final woman in Money in the Bank. Is it Stephanie? Is it Liv? Or somehow is it Ivy Nile? Which one qualifies and gets that final spot? So as we move forward, Soul Sikoa was walking backstage and ran into R-Truth. He's back to R-Truth, not Ron Truth. You can still get the shirt. Sikoa made fun of Truth for talking to ghosts. And I'm like, oh, Jimmy ain't a ghost. You just can't see him. Truth looked at JC Matteo and said he has never seen him before. Truth asked Sikoa if Matteo was Solo's son, which was pretty funny. Truth said he was going to ask Nick Aldis for a match with Matteo later. Jacob chimed in and said he needed to take care of business for himself tonight and get the group back on track. Basically, he wants to win his Money in the Bank qualifying match. So Nick Aldis, this was kind of funny. Nick Aldis ran into Chelsea Green backstage. She had a face mask on because she's got that broken nose, but she had a picture of her face on a stick so she can cover her face and you don't have to see the face mask and the broken nose. Kind of funny, but she like did it. And Nick Aldis is like, yeah, you're going to have to move that. I can't hear you. You talk to me normal. So she moves it. Piper puts one in her face and Nick's still like, I still can't understand you or hear you. You got to talk to me normal. Get that out of your face. And Green was all like mad and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, look what Zelina did to my face. She broke my nose. She should be reprimanded. Strip her now of the North America, or not the North American, the United States Championship. She's reckless. She doesn't need to be the champion. And Aldis is like, yeah, no. Green then is like, you know, if Alba fought her, she'd beat her and she'd show her what's what. And Nick Aldis goes, Alba Fyre? Zelina Vega? Sure, let's make that official right now. I like it. So we did get that match later. Alba Fyre versus Zelina Vega in a non-title match. A little interesting segment here. Not really much to it, but eh. Byron Saxton was interviewing the women's champion Tiffany Stratton. Saxton asked Stratton, wow, I wrote that weird, how she was handling the pressure of being the champion. Tiffy said that she's always prepared because she's always been a girl everyone's been after and obsessed with, so she knows what it's like for people to be targeting her. People have always wanted her or wanted to get at her. Tiffany said whoever cashes in will make a big mistake. Naomi then walked in and said, hey, I'm going to win that ladder match. When they cash in wherever I want. Tiffany kind of rolled her eyes at Naomi as Naomi walked away. Bliss would then walk up and told Tiffany she shouldn't worry about Naomi because I will be the one winning Money in the Bank. Okay, it kind of wasn't really needed, but whatever. You got the champ on the show. You got Alexa on the show. You can say, oh, Bliss was on the show. We got a vignette looking at the NXT North American Championship match for Worlds Collide. That match is going to hump. That match is going to be so good. It's Ethan Page defending against Javon Evans, Ray Phoenix, and Laredo Kid. One doesn't fit, but still should be really good. We'll talk about the champ, Ethan Page. So then we got R-Truth versus JC Matteo. Not much to this 2.5 minute match. Matteo ran Truth into the corner early. Matteo threw Truth into the corner. Matteo did it again and again. Matteo went for a splash, and Truth moved and followed this up with a series of shoulder blocks. The final one, which took Matteo down. Truth then lifted Matteo Matteo landed on Truth and followed this up with a standing moonsault. Matteo went for a senton. Truth moved and called for the 5-knuckle shuffle. Truth actually hit it. Truth lifted Matteo up, but collapsed as a result yet again. Matteo landed the Tour of the Islands and pinned Truth, and like I said, a 2.5-minute match. Not much to it. So after the match, Matteo tried roughing Truth up, but old Big Jimmy Uso, run out to make the save with a steel chair. With Jimmy's attention turned to Solo, though, Matteo attacked Jimmy from behind, and Sikoa stopped Matteo from going after Jimmy, which was weird because Solo wants Jimmy to join him. So he's like, hey, we're not going to hurt you. Come on, big bro. Join us. Come back to the family. We'll see how it all does play out. But Solo kind of saved his brother because he wants his brother to work with him. Then we got a shitty segment. It's a tag division and the Wyatts. This, no good. I don't like any of this. The Street Profits come out. Ford spoke first and said the SmackDown Tag Team division is the greatest division, regardless of any brand or any company. There's your shot there, and they're not wrong. SmackDown Tag Division is probably the best tag division in all of pro wrestling. He said, in us, the Street Profits, we lead in the charge. Dawkins chimed in and listed the teams coming after them. Dawkins brought up the Wyatts, and Ford said they'd happily defend their tag titles against anybody, even them. But on cue, out comes Fraxium. Because remember, Fraxium did have that tag title match last week that they never lost. Nathan Frazier spoke first and talked about how they didn't get a fair shake last week. Ford congratulated Fraxium and noted how they had Fraxium beat until, well, the Six got involved. Axiom said that they'll never know for sure who the better team was because of how the match ended. Frazier interjected and said that they should run things back because we didn't lose. You never actually beat us. Out come the Motor City Machine Guns. And Shelly's like, hey, if your reasoning for getting a tag title shot is that they've never beat you, well, then where's our shot? Because they've never beat us. Then out would come DIY and Candice LeRae. Candice starts talking for them. She called Motor City Machine Guns nerds. Sabin told LeRae to shut up, and Gargano responded with anger and said, hey, we brought LeRae back just to even the odds because there's a conspiracy going around against us. Gargano brought up the Six, and Ciampa told Gargano, oh, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. And I laughed a little bit there. That was like the best part of this whole thing, where Johnny's don't talk about the Six, and Ciampa's like, nope, not them. Ciampa said they'd kill the tag division. Oh, no. Ciampa said that Profits have killed the tag division that they built up. Ciampa called for a moment of silence, and the lights went out. Things did get silent. And when they came back on, the Six were there, and they just beat everybody up again, just like last week. Howdy gave Fraser her sister Abigail, and that ended things as the Six posed in the middle of the ring and their music played. This all sucked. Other than Ciampa showing that he's kind of scared of the Six, we don't talk about why it's Six. Like, you don't talk about Bruno, Ciampa don't talk about the why it's Six. So that was the only bright shining spot of this whole thing. Other than that, this sucked. Yeah. We already know who all the tag teams are. Actually, you missed some. Like Los Garza. Speaking of Los Garza, they had a tag match tonight where opponents returned partners in Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix against Berto and Angel. Ethan Page, North American champion, on commentary. Ethan Page, really good on commentary too. Like he's just a natural talker. So Phoenix and Angel started things off. Phoenix leapt at Angel, but Angel caught him and ultimately ended up there with dual headbutts. Berto and Evans tagged in, and Berto landed a springboard moonsault from the second rope. And I'm just sitting here going, oh man. If there's people that only watch main roster stuff and have not seen Javon Evans in NXT, they're in for a treat because this kid is great. Evans came back with a wild drop kick and a cutter on Angel. With the heels on the outside, Phoenix tagged in, and they hit a stereo super kick on Berto, who came off the top and into the middle of the ring. Phoenix then went for a pin, but Berto kicked out, and the show went to a break. The show returned, and Angel draped Evans in between the ropes in the corner before running a knee into his face. Berto tagged in and planted Evans with a Garza special, but Evans kicked out at 2. Berto worked a headlock, Evans leapt across the ring for a hot tag, but came up just a tiny bit short. Evans had to kick Berto in the head in order to ultimately get the hot tag to Phoenix. Angel tagged in as well, and Phoenix took down both heels, complete with a double springboard moonsault on Angel. Evans tagged back in and hit a springboard clothesline on Angel as well. Berto then kicked Evans, and all four men were down for a reset as the crowd is chanting, "This is awesome." And this match has been pretty awesome. Like, I don't know if it's awesome enough to get a "This is awesome" chant, but you're kind of conditioned now. When everybody in the ring, especially in a tag match or a multi-man match, when everybody in the ring is laying down, you chant "This is awesome." Because that means something cool just happened, maybe. And yeah. But Evans and Angel traded chops while they were on their knees. The two got to their feet and traded punches until Angel landed a springboard powerbomb on Evans for a near fall. Los Garza then lined up for their finisher on Evans, but Phoenix broke up the attempt. Phoenix walked the ropes and stomped on Angel. Evans then came off the top to take out Los Garza on the outside of the ring. Paige then stood up and got in Evans' face. Phoenix as well. While the referee turned around, Paige threw Phoenix into the commentary desk. Evans took Paige out, and inside the ring, Evans went to the top, but Escobar distracted the referee, and Paige pushed Evans off the top rope. Los Garza then hit their finish on Javon Evans, pinned him, and picked up the victory. So, it's unfortunate. Javon Evans does lose his first match on SmackDown. He's not officially on SmackDown or anything, but first match on SmackDown. But he looked good. He looked real good. And I hope some people open their eyes and go, "Oh, crap. This is someone we got to look forward to in the future coming up from NXT. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother." So let me get a Uncle Howdy video where he doesn't say much and most people couldn't even tell what he said. But then he eventually said, and I don't have it in my notes, but I do have it here on Twitter. All he really said was, "We won't stop, not until we get what's owed." I don't know what that means. I don't know what's owed, but that's what Howdy said. We got all these cryptic Howdy videos. I could care less. I don't care about the Wyatts. I know everyone goes, "Oh, you gotta love the Wyatts because of Bray." No, you don't. Right now, they were cool that first week when they murdered everybody backstage. We thought Chad Gable was dead and done. But ever since then, they've been lackluster. Now I get it. Bo was injured, and that's why they were off TV for a while. But even when they're on TV, they don't look anything special. They're just a bunch of creepy Halloween characters beating people up for no reason. So then we get Zelina Vega versus Alba Fyre, and the goddamn champ don't even get an entrance on television. Tell you what, that ain't no good. Zelina's entrance was not shown on TV. We saw it on Netflix during the break. But Alba gets a TV entrance? Nah, what the fuck are we doing here? Fyre attacked Vega to start things off. Vega came back briefly, but Fyre took Vega down with a shoulder block. Before long, Fyre ran Vega into the corner, but Vega came back and Fyre rolled to the outside. At one point, Vega put Fyre in position for the 619, but Green distracted the referee. Fyre then took advantage of that and kicked Vega. Fyre then saluted the hard cam. Chelsea saluted at ringside, and we went to commercial break. Back from the break, Fyre continued to have control until Vega hit a knee to Fyre's head, and both women went down. Vega inevitably fired up and landed a Meteora in the corner. Fyre at one point lifted Vega, but Vega countered with a neck breaker, but then missed a moonsault from the top rope. Fyre went back to the top and hit a swanton for a nice near fall, which really the crowd didn't react too much, which was weird. It's a big old swanton, and you don't even barely react. They weren't really reacting to much of this match. As it come down to the finish, Vega found herself on the outside of the ring, and Green tried to hit Vega with her mask. She took the protective mask off, went to hit Vega with it. Vega ducks. Sorry, I hit the microphone. Vega ducks, and she hits Piper, and Wade just keeps yelling, "Oh my God, she just broke Piper's nose. She just broke Piper's nose, Joe Tess." I'm like, she didn't break her nose. Oh, good Lord. Are we going to see both Chelsea and Piper wearing these masks next week? Fuck. Anyways, like, it's funny when Chelsea does it just herself, but now we don't need more. Anyways. Vega gets back into the ring. She lands a code red and pins Fyre. That's about it. 11-minute match that was just okay. Nothing really special about it, I will say. Nothing special. The Miz is in the back and he's talking to Carmelo Hayes, telling him, hey, take my advice. You'll win the qualifier tonight. We'll go to Money in the Bank. We'll become Mr. Money in the Bank. And Melo goes, whoa, wait, we? What do you mean we? And Miz looks at him and goes, hey, don't forget I gave you my opportunity here. I could have been in this qualifier instead of you. And Melo's like, hey, I didn't make it here by listening to somebody else. I made it here because of what I've done, because of who I am, and I am him. So just let me do my thing, and we'll make it work. Melo told Miz, I do need you because we Melo don't Miz, and we're awesome, but you got to kind of let me do my thing. Miz kind of looked a little perturbed, but then was like, okay, sure. Well, Melo lost. So I bet you next week, Miz is going to be all over him going, hey, you should have listened, kid. You should have freaking listened. So we got a Julia video. It basically says, everybody says that they want to be the best, but that's kind of a far-fetched conclusion of everyone says this, so it doesn't mean anything. What I want to be is unstoppable or something like that. She's unstoppable or inevitable. Something. She wants to be better than the best. She wants to be somebody that even the best can't beat. Then we see Zelina Vega walking backstage, and apparently that match with Alba Fyre took everything out of her. She got a water bottle. She's drinking water bottle. She's dumping water all over her chest. She's drinking more water, and Julia comes into frame. And Julia looks at her. She goes, I see you, but I see that title more. And Zelina kind of just looks at her and walks off. So I don't think Julia wins Money in the Bank, but I think Julia could be up and maybe even next in line for that United States Championship. I wouldn't hate it if Julia wins it. Put the belt on her. We got a Damian Priest segment. All basically leading to he wants to challenge for the U.S. title. Priest comes out, says, I'm breathing a fresh coat of air, whatever it's called, breathing a fresh air. Says I beat Drew at Saturday night's main event. I had him with that concerto. I took him out. He said, Drew's ass is in the past. Priest said, now there's something to look forward to. I want to win gold. I want to be a champion. Now I want to go after Jacob Fatu. Priest said, I respect the hell out of Fatu. Priest said, quote, real talk. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. That's real. Priest said that he doesn't respect Fatu's crew. And at some point, Fatu and Priest will have to handle some business inside this ring. Priest said if Fatu's family wants to get involved, they'll get some too. Priest landed his catchphrase, threw the microphone down, and left the ring. As he was walking up the ramp, Jacob would be coming out, and the two did have a slight little stare down. So that should be a pretty good feud and program moving forward. Speaking of Jacob Fatu, he had a Money in the Bank qualifier. It was he, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. There's a lot going on here that had nothing to do with qualifying, but I think everybody was probably shocked by this result. Everyone was probably sitting here going, yeah, I can see Jacob winning. That's the most reasonable, logical thing. Put Jacob in the goddamn ladder match. But if they do a solo screwy finish like they did, Carmelo will win, and there we go. I didn't see nobody. I didn't see one person on social media go, I think Andrade wins. And he fucking did. Shocked the shit out of me. Shocked the shit out of me. Fatu and Andrade went to work on Melo to start things off. Melo rolled to the outside, and Andrade and Fatu went at it. Andrade went to the top and landed a crossbody off the top. But Melo threw Andrade outside and attacked Fatu. Melo tried to throw Fatu into the ropes, but Fatu blocked it and punched Melo right in the face. Fatu then ran the ropes, but Miz grabbed Fatu's foot. Remember, his triple threat, no DQ. As a result, though, Melo went for a roll-up. Fatu blocked it, only to be kicked to the outside. After commercial break, the show returned and Fatu hit a running hip attack on Andrade. But tried to, and Andrade moved. Melo and Andrade were left, and Andrade got the best of it. With both opponents in respective corners, Andrade hit double knees on Fatu, then ran to the other side and was planted by Melo. Fatu woke up and took a super kick from Andrade. Melo went to the second rope, but as a result, but that resulted in a Spanish fly from Andrade, so he got taken down. Fatu reinserted himself into the match and hit some swantons on Melo and Andrade. Fatu teased a moonsault, but Andrade pulled Fatu's leg. Andrade went to the top and hit a double moonsault. But, well, after he goes for the pin, Melo broke it up. We got chance of This Is Awesome, and this was a pretty damn good match at this point. 3 men traded blows. They were all on their knees. Melo hit a DDT on both guys after springboard from the second rope. Andrade hit a Poison Rana on Fatu, and that left Melo and Andrade in the ring together. Andrade pulled Melo to the outside, where they exchanged some blows. Fatu super kicked Melo and went for a hip attack on Melo and Andrade into the barricade. But both Melo and Andrade moved, so Fatu went flying. There was a chant that got bleeped out. I'm not sure exactly what they were chanting, but they chanted it as we were going to a break. So at one point later on in this match, Solo and JC Matteo make their way to ringside. Fatu is perched Melo on the top rope. Fatu had both Melo and Andrade on his shoulders, but he went to hit that Samoan drop. Not on Melo because Melo slipped off, but he got it on Andrade. Fatu then missed a moonsault as Andrade moved, and Melo hit the nothing but net on Fatu. Andrade and Melo then traded a bunch of pin attempts in the ring, and before long, all 3 men were down on the mat again. This match went well over 20 minutes, or right around 20 minutes-ish. Fatu then hit a spike DDT on Andrade. Fatu ran Melo into the corner and followed this up with a hip attack. Fatu landed another spike DDT on Andrade and followed this up with a double jump moonsault, but Solo hopped up on the apron and told Fatu, "Hey, go do it again. Go do it again." Matteo started yelling at Fatu, "Do it again." And Wade goes, "Oi, Matteo now tells Fatu what to do?" Jimmy would then show up, take out Solo and Matteo. This would cause some confusion and some distraction to Jacob. Andrade would hit him with the message. Well, Andrade would take him down, hit Melo with the message, pin him, and pick up the victory. What? Andrade? Like, I'm a big Andrade fan. I think Andrade's great. But I didn't expect this one at all. Andrade is in the GD Money in the Bank ladder match. Yeah. Shocked. As far as this ladder match does go, we got all but one spot set for this match. So far, it is Solo Sikoa, Penta, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, and Andrade. Now, the final spot will be determined on Monday, as we now know that in that final qualifying match, it'll be CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano. Who wins? I don't think it's AJ. Punk? Maybe. If I'm going to make a prediction, and I said this past Monday on our Raw review to Luke, I said, I think Grande Americano makes it into the ladder match. And now he's got a qualifier. This is before we even knew he had a qualifier. But I think there's a good chance. And screw some guy on Twitter. He goes, Chad Gable getting 2 opportunities to be in Money in the Bank and Cross don't get 1? And I go, well, Grande Americano isn't Chad Gable. So he shows me some random graphic from some random website or whatever that's got like a split graphic thing where one side's got Chad Gable's head and the other side's the Americano head. And I go, well, A, those 2 faces don't even line up because the graphic was made wrong. And I said, and B, that ain't even official from WWE, so it ain't real. He then proceeds to show me the Wikipedia page of Chad Gable that says he is also a Grande Americano. And I respond with, well, that's Wikipedia, and Wikipedia can be changed by anybody. So that doesn't hold up in court. I think I pissed him off a little too much, or he just responded with, shut up. And like a mean mug mad emoji. So, yeah, there are people online. It's whatever. I'm just laying it up. Also, thank you to Coach Larry, first-time chatter on Twitch. But as we move forward, yeah, Andrade is in Money in the Bank. Shocked. Byron Saxton interviewed LA Knight backstage. I talked about it. Everyone's talking about punch your ticket. Punch your ticket on social media. Punch your ticket on commentary. I'm over the tagline of punch your ticket. Knight said, if it was a one-on-one match, call him a shot. And understands. Now, because this will be his 3rd Money in the Bank ladder match in a day one-on-one. Knight said that it's anybody's game. But then he stopped himself. And he looked like someone was there, and Aleister Black walked into frame. Black kind of spoke in a riddle, not sure what he said, and walked away. We then see Cody walking backstage. They say he's coming up soon. Then we get our first little, we've been getting some little teasers of dissension between Solo and Fatu, and we got more. Fatu was backstage throwing shit, pissed off. Oh, fuck yeah. Throwing stuff and yelling and whatnot. And Solo tries to calm him down. And he starts yelling at Solo and said, hey, I understand what you did, but I told you I didn't want the help. I said last time I didn't need your help. And I said this time, I didn't need your help. And Jacob storms off, pissed off. Then they run down the card for what we know so far for WWE Worlds Collide. Let me pull that card up. We'll talk about that here for a second. We got a number of matches already announced. We have 5 matches announced. So we do know that Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Angel Umberto will be taking on the team of El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. El Hijo del Vikingo will be taking on Chad Gable, presumably for the AAA Mega Championship. We don't know. The graphic wasn't there this time, but it was there before. Vikingo's probably beating Del Rio for the... If you haven't... Oh, my God. Speaking of Del Rio. You haven't seen that video of Del Rio on a morning show where they're starting to build up this match? And, like, him and Vikingo go at it, and then he starts, like, beating people up, and he slams the chair. This guy tried to, like, run at somebody, and there's a rug on, like, a hardwood glass floor or whatever you want to say. And so he takes a step and the rug slips under him. Oh my God, it's the funniest shit ever. But yeah, Vikingo's probably winning that mega title this weekend and then defending against Chad Gable next weekend. Speaking of title matches, the NXT North American Championship will be on the line when Ethan Page defends against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Phoenix. In a tag team match, Stephanie Vicure will team up with Lola Vice to take on the team of Chick Tormenta and Dallas. And then the LWO, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde will be taking on Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. So, also, LWO, I don't know if it's all 3 of them, if it's Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde, or just del Toro and Wilde, but they're going to be on Evolve for the next couple of weeks. They're at the tapings tonight. These 5 matches are on the docket for next week's show, which is live and free on YouTube. So then we got our main event segment with Cody. It's supposed to be just Cody and Cena, but we got more. And before we talk about that, we got to talk about our sponsor right now. That's, well, Chef Robot. Let's hear from them for just a moment. Hey, food lovers. Want crispy, delicious meals without the guilt? Then say hello to the Chef Robot 8-quart double air fryer, the ultimate kitchen sidekick that fries, bakes, and roasts with up to 85% less oil. With its smart cooking technology, you get perfectly golden results every time. Whether it's wings, fries, or even dessert, just set it, forget it, and enjoy chef-quality meals in minutes. So why settle for boring, greasy foods when you can cook healthier and faster with Chef Robot? Get yours today and transform the way you cook. So use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/Chef Robot now for smart cooking and perfect results. Moving forward, also, if you are watching live on Twitch, the poll is live, so go vote there. Moving forward, Cody Rhodes comes down to the ring. We still got like 20 minutes or more left in this show, and I go, oh, this is going to go long and be interesting. Cody grabs the microphone as he comes down after he gets into the ring, and he kind of soaks in the chants as they're chanting for him. He stalled, did a little grandstanding, and they do the Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes. And I'm like, you think you're a European crowd. Anyways, we're in Knoxville, not London. But Cody asked the crowd, what do you want to talk about? Also, Cody's podcast, what do you want to talk about? Episode 1 of his new season, because he's already done a previous season, but episode 1 of his new season did drop this week. They're going to have episodes every other week. They were the #1 sports podcast this week, him and Brandy. And it was really good, them just having a fun conversation. Like, yeah, there's a couple peppered, like, sponsor spots in there that they had to like kind of do specific things. But when it was just them talking, it was really good. Like I would listen to a Cody Brandy podcast, just the two of them. Maybe they bring on a guest every so often, every week. Like it was good. I liked it. Just them talking candidly like that. It was great. It was great. Cody over here teasing. Hey, Brandy, remember one time I told you I could run for president? But anyways, Cody asked the crowd what they want to talk about, and they cheered loudly. Cody said, they can talk about WrestleMania 41. He said, I went home, drowned in my sorrows with some Tennessee cough syrup. Cody said he had a doubtful moment, and he reached out to a friend. Cody said that he asked his friend if he was a good champion. Cody said the friend answer was, well, quote, with everything that you faced in the ring and with everything you faced behind the scenes, you were a good champion. Cody said that made him feel good. Cody said that made him think about the whole year, including fighting AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, things with Triple H, and the final boss. Finally, someone brings up goddamn Rock. Cody said the scary part about The Rock asking for his soul was that The Rock was serious. That offer still stands. Like he said no, and Rock didn't rescind it. Cody says, we also got to talk about John Cena. And we get, let's go Cena, Cena sucks chants. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Cody said that Cena did exactly what he'd do. Cody said he hesitated when Cena gave him a choice. And that if Cena ruins pro wrestling, Cody partly to blame because he couldn't stop him. Cody spoke to the camera and said that, well, he will never hesitate when it comes to Cena again. Cody said he needs Cena to know that Cody will, quote, burn his ass up in reference to Cena. Cody said that it was his first night back on Smackdown, and he was getting a little worked up. Cody wondered what he can do for the WWE Universe. Maybe he got a little bit of a surprise for them. The crowd knows exactly what the surprise is. They start going, yeet, yeet. And Cody goes, oh, you guys want a little yeet? Well, yeah, I got something for you. I got somebody for you. I brought someone here. It's a world heavyweight champion, Jey Uso. Crowd loses their mind. Now, remember when Jey first broke off on his own and they shipped him over to Raw, and everyone, not everyone, but many were like, yeah, ain't gonna be nothing. They're gonna try and push him, and he's just gonna be the guy that was under Roman, that whatever. A lot of people said that Jey was just gonna be whatever, get lost in the shuffle, and yeah, on his own. Well, look at this fucker now. Getting main event pops and reactions, and everybody loves him. Kids love him. Adults love him. Men, women alike. It's just, they've done a great job. Shout out to both the company and Jey for getting him over so big. Getting the character and him and the yeet and the thing and everything over so big. Jey comes out. We go to a break. He does the whole entrance. And fucking Wade forgets they're on the air on Netflix. On Netflix, when you're watching international Netflix, if it's in the middle of an entrance, they don't go to break. They cut to black for about 5 seconds and they come right back. And Wade, and I'm going to paraphrase this because I don't remember exactly what he said, but Wade's like, get a load of the view in the front row. This shit's crazy. I'm like, what? Wade, you're still on fucking Netflix. You're still live, buddy. Hot mic. Hot mic. Anyways. So we come back from the break, and the camera's right on Jey, and Jey looks at the camera, looks out to the crowd, and goes, run him back. And so they play his music again. This is getting a little old. The whole we got to do the entrance thing twice. It's like, we're killing time. So they, yeet. Day one is my beat. So they eat again. Yeet. They do all that. And they're celebrating when Cena's music would hit. And Cena comes out to John Cena sucks chants. So Cena walked to ringside and grabbed a microphone. Cena walked up the steps and got in the ring. Cena said that he was upset because Cody and Jey were, quote, professional wrestling's biggest wannabes. And he looks at Cody and goes, you're a John Cena wannabe. And I go, okay, there's comparisons, whatever. He then looks at Jey and goes, you're a, and I think he's going to say Roman Reigns wannabe, and goes, John Cena wannabe. And I go, what? Jey's a John Cena wanna what? No, he's not. Jay, you know John Cena wannabe. What the fuck you talk about, John? And the crowd wasn't really sure how to react to any of that. Cena called Cody desperate and Uso lazy. Cena said that there was only one person in WWE who embodies hustle, loyalty, and respect. And that's his partner in Money in the Bank. And out comes Logan Paul, because, you know, he's humble. The song's kind of growing on me, I will say. Paul got a lot of boos. And seemed like him and Cena were happy about it. Cena said the crowd was mad because Logan Paul, quote, does WWE better than the professional wrestlers. That line got me. I like that line. Cody had a better line later. Oh my God. Cena said that Paul is paying everyone's mortgage. Cena said everyone in the building came to see Cena and Logan. Cena got a lot of cheers. Logan really didn't. Paul said that I could walk on water. And everyone would find a way to tell me, yeah, it's just because you can't swim. Apparently, the Usos said this once in an interview. And so, like, a couple troll Twitter accounts were like, oh, Logan Paul copying AEW again. He does the buckshot, and now he's taking the Usos lines. I bet you goddamn motherfucking Logan Paul's never even seen that clip of Matt Jackson saying, we can walk on water, but people say it's because we can't swim. I've never seen that clip before. And I try to keep up with as much as I can. Logan Paul ain't watching no random goddamn Young Bucks interview on a Swerve podcast. Fuck no. I'd put money that Logan Paul never even seen that and never even knew that the Young Bucks said that. Hell, I'd put money on it that Logan didn't even write that line, that it was scripted for him. Anyways, Paul called Tennessee stupid people. Paul said everyone will live long, pathetic, miserable lives, but at least they'll be able to say that they saw, well, Logan Paul and John Cena stand in the ring together, and the crowd starts chanting, shut the fuck up. Paul said that he should be standing next to Cena as a champion because he should have left Saturday night's main event as the world heavyweight champion. But said Uso just got lucky. Paul said that Uso or Cody can't do anything in this business without having things handed to them. Paul called Cody and Uso Nepo babies. Paul said Cena. And Paul said he and Cena, well, we're self-made. We had nothing handed to us. Paul said 5 years ago, nobody would have believed that I would be a WWE superstar. Paul noted how nobody will believe that he will be tagging with the GOAT. Paul said, this time is his time, and Cena is the last world champion. Paul said, in Money in the Bank, they can come get some. Uso said that they didn't need to wait. Cody said, hey, let's do this right here, right now. And Cena goes, this is the fucking greatest line Cody's ever said. Cena goes to leave, and Logan kind of grabs Cena. And Cena's like, what was that for? And they kind of start bickering. And Cody says, and I quote, hey, what are you guys arguing about? Where are you headed? You gonna go back there and polish his peacemaker? Jay then, with the belt over his shoulder, turns around, walks into the corner, drops the belt, and just loses it. Cena goes at Cody. Jay goes at, or Logan goes to Jay, and they all start brawling. Eventually, Jay and Cody stand tall. Cody's music plays, and that's how the show goes off the air. Cody held up Cena's title, and it's over. But that line, you gonna go back there and polish his peacemaker? God, gold. I died laughing. But overall, good segment. Built some stuff up, and now I got a theory, ladies and gentlemen. I got a theory. So Cena's going to be working Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, but we don't know against who. No one's really built up for John Cena to challenge him for the title or whatnot, but what if there is something that happens at Money in the Bank between he and Logan that leads to some dissension, some hatred, some fuck you. I don't like you anymore. I want to fight you. And it is Cena and Logan and Night of Champions. What if it is Cena and Logan and Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia? I mean, who else could it be? I doubt that's where they do the Cody match, because I know they're going to get to a Cody rematch. I doubt they do like a champion versus champion, Cody versus Jay match. So it's like, who else is built up for John? They already showed slight dissension, and that wasn't on accident. They did that for a reason. So I think there's a slight chance. Now, I'm not saying, oh, this is the match, it's going to happen, bank on it. But I think there's a slight chance that we could maybe see John Cena versus Logan Paul for the title. Or maybe not even for the title, just fuck you kind of match. Like, I hate you now. You screwed us over. Money in the Bank. They beat us, whatever. So that's just my prediction, my theory, hypothesis, whatever you want to call it. But with that, that was everything that happened on the nights. Friday night Smackdown. Now, you know what I thought of the show. Let's hear what you guys thought of tonight's Friday night Smackdown. As far as the polls do go, let's go refresh all of these. Boom. Boom. As far as the threads poll does go, 75% liked the show, 25% thought it was just all right. Look at the Twitter X poll, 68% liked the show, 21% thought it was just all right, and 10% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 80% liked the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. As far as the live poll does go, 74% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. Finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked tonight's Smackdown. With that, guys, that's going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, guys, we got no pay-per-view PLEs this weekend, but we'll be back on Monday for Monday Night Raw. So with that, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.